Okay, and we are off, and it is warm this morning. Wow, it's so muggy. Hopefully a few people will be joining in a minute, but good morning to everyone who does watch this a little bit later on. I first of all want to say, for those of you that do watch the fragrance videos, they will still be coming. It's just obviously at the minute I haven't had a chance to do too much editing, so I'm falling behind with that at the minute, so I've ended up just doing the live streams. But obviously doing another run this morning, doing a very short one, only because I want to go in the sea in a little bit while it's still nice and quiet. But I thought I'd take today's opportunity to talk about the World Cup. Yes, obviously the World Cup at the moment, very well, it's getting into the stage where it's going to get interesting. It's been very interesting so far, some good, some bad, and I thought we'd take advantage of that today and talk about maybe the teams that we think might win it, and also some of the things that have happened during the tournament that have raised a few eyebrows, particularly those hydration breaks, which I definitely want to get into, because those hydration breaks have been absolutely ridiculous. So we'll let a few people join before we get into it, but I'm planning to do, well, about half an hour's run this morning, nothing too much, so hopefully this shouldn't be too difficult to motivate. I've done a few runs this week and they've been about 5-6 miles. Sometimes I think I did one that was 9 miles yesterday, so yeah, this one should feel quite easy in comparison. I'm still trying to get used to these live streams as well, so hopefully I'll get the hang of it soon. I'll work out how I can see messages and things like that a little bit clearer. But yeah, it is muggy this morning. It's literally, well, it's 7:15, and as you can imagine, being Saturday morning, it's very quiet around, so I feel like I've got to whisper because people are all still in bed. But it is nice. It's nice to get out and get myself awake, because I'll be honest, I'm not very good. Good morning. I can see the messages. How are you today? I'm starting to get out of breath now. Hopefully I won't push myself too hard today, so I'll be able to talk clearly. But I think we should start talking about the World Cup then, because it has been a few weeks now since the World Cup started. And what's everyone's thoughts on the World Cup at the moment? I think it's been all right. I find the times difficult, obviously living in the UK. Sometimes it's quite hard, those 10 o'clock games. I find it really hard to keep awake. Good morning, good to see you. Sorry, I can half see messages. My eyesight's absolutely shocking. I've put sunglasses on and it's so early in the morning, I can barely see anything, and also my eyesight's not the best at the best of times. But yeah, I'm still going for Portugal at the minute to win the World Cup. I think my only issue with Portugal at the moment is just the Ronaldo impact. Look, Ronaldo is still incredible, and I can never knock someone who wants to be the best player in the world for 20 plus years. He still wants to be the main man, and I just think now maybe his legs ago it's going to be difficult dropping him in some of those key games. Yeah, so the water breaks, honestly, those water breaks have been absolutely ridiculous, haven't they? Again, it's one of those for me. I kind of understand that if you put those water breaks in for one game, you've kind of got to put them in for all the games. But I think the biggest issue with a lot of them is just, well, the sponsors, there's like Powerade, there's so many different ones. It's just another opportunity, obviously, to make money. It's not really come in for the right purpose. But how do we think England's going to do then? So I'm thinking quarterfinals. I don't actually really know England's route. I think someone was saying to me at the moment, it looks like it's going to be England versus Ecuador. And yeah, look, I saw Ecuador against Germany the other night, and actually they played all right, to be fair. Not sure about the Germans, but the one thing with England for me is I feel like we've got a very good starting 11, but there's certain players, if you take them out of the team, suddenly it's a completely different side. Harry Kane gets injured. To go from like Harry Kane to Ollie Watkins, it's a bit of a downgrade, isn't it? Well, I hope we win with a bit of luck, but I think it's one of them. I was saying this actually yesterday. There's only been 8 teams in 96 years that have won the World Cup, and England are one of them. So I get this whole, 60 years of hurt and all this. But actually, in comparison to a lot of countries, that actually isn't too bad. Holland have made 3 finals, never won it. Portugal have never won it. And Spain, which is obviously a team that we always look at and go, they're always one of the favourites to win it. They've won it once. And that was in 2010. So technically they've done no better than England, even though, you know, I just always feel like Spain are more likely. I think England's biggest issue has been more a case of not doing enough in the Euros and tournaments like that. And obviously we know why with the last manager we had, exactly why we didn't win it. But yeah, these hydration plates, they're getting confusing to me, because the other day it was chucking it down with rain. They said it was 16 Celsius. I just don't see why they can't, before a game, just go, oh, you know, it's not that hot today. Speak to the two teams. Do you want a hydration break or not? No, we don't. Okay, we won't have one. But it's all due to the fact that they clearly just want more money made from these sponsorship opportunities. But yeah, it's confusing. I think the other thing that really I'm not a fan of in this World Cup is these third place things. So that's why is it the top 8 teams who become third, or who finish in third place, go to the next round. Essentially, you're one of the best 8 losers, in my opinion. And I mean, I was looking obviously with Scotland, and Scotland, I saw this article that was going on about how, you know, if Scotland win, or, you know, if Scotland lose by this many goals, and then this other team scores this many goals, and if this other team scores this many goals, Scotland go through. And you're just like, there's so many permutations, it just makes absolutely no sense to me. And if you're looking, if you have to watch 4 or 5 games to see if your team goes through after you've played all your games, that doesn't seem right to me. It should just be the top 2 in each group, and then, you know, it's fair. That's what it's always been, that's what it used to be, and it's much better. But I do want to know then, what's everyone's opinions on the extra teams in the World Cup? So for example, you've got like Curacao this year, what is it, 48 teams now? What does everyone think about the extra teams? Because I'll be honest, I see it from both sides here. Look, it was great to see Curacao get a goal the other day against Germany, and I think for their country, for the fans, that's probably as good as you're going to get. But then it saturates the tournament when they go and concede 6 or 7 goals. You know, is that what we really want? It almost reminds me, being a Chelsea fan, of when we were actually playing that Conference League, and you're playing teams you've never heard of, and you know you're going to win, but is that really what you want? You know, personally for me, I understand the financial element for those clubs in the Conference League playing in it, but I don't really want to see a game where it's not competitive. Too many 48, it is absolutely massive. Hello, good morning. It's just, again, to be honest with you, I didn't even realise how many countries there are in the world, really. But, you know, as I said, it's nice to see those stories, but how many times, every time now in the 4 years of the World Cup, are we going to go, oh, what a great story, you know, for this country, they've been in it? Because at the end of the day, it's harder not to qualify now than qualify. It makes it unbelievable, really, that Italy haven't qualified as well. What's the... I don't even know what that says. You'll have to explain it to me. But yeah, what do we think of VAR then? I know this isn't new to football anymore, but is everyone the same as me that finds VAR really annoying? I certainly do. I mean, the thing is as well, I don't know if anyone else, I mean, I go out with a running watch on, and I'll show you the view in a minute as well, because I'm a bit out of breath. I've gone uphill at the minute. Hopefully it's all down for a second. But yeah, it's annoying, because when I look at my sort of watch for, you know, the scores, I'll see, oh, England has scored, and then you get goal ruled out 2 seconds later, so you can never really celebrate a goal in football anymore. Oh, it's lovely up here this morning. There's my view at the minute. There's nobody actually in the car park at the second. Now that sea in the distance, I don't know if you can see, there's sea in the distance. I'm planning to go in there in like 2.5 hours time. I'm terrible in cold water, honestly. Some people are going in at the moment in swimsuits and swimming shorts, and there's me turning up in the full wetsuit, absolutely freezing. Which, how's my run going? It's going all right. Yeah, look, I'll be honest, I've been had a bit of a knee injury the last few weeks. So, I mean, the problem is, I'll be honest with you, I come on holiday and I say I'm going to do things a little bit easier, and I still go out for a run. I still go and do 7-mile walks, so there's no wonder I'm always tired. But the reason I've gone out this morning, I was actually going to have a day off today, but I had a fish and chips dinner last night, and put it this way, regular fish and chips here is not regular fish and chips in my opinion. They did regular and large size fish and chips, and honestly the size of the regular fish and chips, if that's not extra large, I dread to think what the size of the actual large one was, because it was massive. And put it this way, I can feel it this morning, my belly feels like it's jiggling as much as the keys are in my pocket. So yeah, so I don't know, obviously it's England tonight. I assume it must be Ghana against Croatia. I think that's probably the game to watch out of the two anyway. Look, obviously I'm going to watch the England game being English, but I'm expecting England. I'm actually going to go for 4-0 England. I think it's going to be one of those games, if England score in the first 20 minutes, it's probably going to be quite a comfortable game. You know, the problem with the Ghana game, for example, is we didn't break them down early enough. And of course what that meant is they just sat in, and we don't have the players, in my opinion at the moment, at England to really break teams down, unlock a defence. You know, if you had a Cole Palmer in there, then that would be great, but it feels like Tuchel's kind of picked a team that's been set up to almost play on the counter-attack. You know, you've got Madueke and Saka on one side, you've got Gordon and Rashford on the other, and it feels like the plan is almost for Harry Kane to drop deep and then for runners to go beyond him. But obviously that's not going to be the case for some of these teams like Ghana and Panama. They're not going to sit back against us. They are going to sit back against us. They're not going to really go for it, and that's the difficulty, because we haven't got those players now. You know, even a Gibbs White, someone like that, to come in and just unlock a defence or grab a goal when we need it. I think we really should have brought 1 or 2 of them along with us. But no, the Croatia-Ghana game is going to be an interesting one. I think it's going to be a bit of a boring one though. I think it's going to be very much a tactical game. I've got a feeling Ghana are going to win it. I really don't know why, but I do look at both sides and think they're both quite aging teams. Croatia are a really aging team. The fact Modric is still in the squad, and even Kovacic now, I think he's 31, 32. He's been out injured all season. It's going to take him a little bit longer to get back into the game and the pace, and I just think Ghana might just have the extra legs to win this one. I just got this feeling, but I couldn't believe, I don't know if anyone watched the Ecuador-Germany game. There was a player that was playing for them who I didn't realise was still playing. He's 36 now. Enner Valencia, I can't believe he's still playing. He played for West Ham and Everton, I believe. Yeah, hate VAR. I don't know anyone, I haven't actually found anyone that genuinely says they like it. And after how many years has it been? 8-10 years? How many people have actually gone, oh yeah, it's really been worth it? We're still talking about it every week. And if we're still talking about it as a problem, then something can't be right, can it? It says England are playing Panama 10. Yes, thank you. That feels a long time away. What is it? 6:58 at the minute. The thing is, I'm one of those, I can't lie in. I'm terrible for it. I try and lie in. So by the time this game gets on later on, I'll be half asleep. There'll be no two ways about it. I'll be half asleep. I'll be thinking about what I'm doing tomorrow morning probably, and getting up for a run, and then probably doing another live video saying about how England have let us down again. Right, we're going to go along the canal path in a minute. It'll be a slightly nicer view than where I'm at the minute, so I'll cut through here. I think people think I'm very odd. Brightly coloured t-shirt on, and I'm just chatting to my phone. But I've kind of got used to doing that now. So yeah, what do we think? Does anyone think Croatia are going to beat Ghana, or does anyone think Ghana, like me, are going to beat Croatia tonight? And who's been your player of the tournament? That's probably a good question. I'd say, I don't know if anyone saw that France game, but they looked pretty impressive last night. I must admit, Dembele, he's such a natural finisher. You know, I was just watching the game actually with my dad, and my dad said to me, why do England players just never strike a ball like this? And it's true. You name me, apart from maybe Kane, one natural striker of a football. There just isn't one. Right, this is a much better view. Look at all the ducks here, by the way, there's loads of them. And the geese there as well. I'll tell you what, those geese, they don't like me. They'll probably hiss at me in a minute, by the way. There's loads there. They're already starting to look on edge. I don't know if it's because they got young or they just no, I'm not, but that's a very weird question. I didn't really expect that at 7 o'clock in the morning. Loads of swans up here as well. Keep treading in bird poo, that's the after issue. But coming up in a minute, there's this amazing tapas restaurant. Oh, I do like tapas, especially in the summer. What would be on your order? I hate swans. Oh, I'm scared of them. Yeah, to be honest with you, I'm not very good with birds or animals in general, but spiders are the absolute no for me. Anything that's like, well, the good thing is I'm in bad eyesight. Yeah, thankfully I don't often see spiders before someone else has caught them, but I'm shocking with spiders. Spiders and heights are my two phobias. Go on, tell me a story. I'm kind of doing this off the cuff today, so I do apologise if it's a bit of a... You're basically my motivation to keep me going on this run. I did say I'd be back by 7:30, so I've got about 15-20 minutes. I'll probably take myself off and turn round. Look at it, it's so quiet this morning. There was a bloke here yesterday as I was going by. One thing I've noticed since I've been on holiday is how polite everyone is. They're so polite. Honestly, everyone I see, there's someone coming now. Same morning. Let's see if they say morning back. I'll be 2 seconds. 1 second. Let's see what they say. I'm that annoying person that's, as I said, looking at my phone all the time, you know, too smiley, too happy. You don't want to be going, oh, I don't feel like that on well, actually it's a Saturday morning today, so maybe people are in a better mood today because it's not the start of a working week. One thing I find is when I go out for a run, because I don't work on Mondays, is how much more miserable everyone feels on a Monday morning. It's so obvious. This cafe as well that I'm just going by always smells so good. It always just smells of burnt toast. Love the smell of burnt toast. But there's sometimes you get those sort of smells, don't you, when you go out and you think, why do I like that smell? Anyone else like the smell of like wet concrete when it's been raining? I really like that smell. So overgrown round. I was fishing. Oh dear. Oh dear. I love the thought of fishing. Honestly, I'd love to go fishing. The issue I have is I want to sort of, I can picture myself sitting there with one of those pool packs and, you know, having the music on. And I think, oh, that sounds such good fun. But as you can probably tell by the fact I'm out this early running, I can't sit still. I ain't got the patience for anything. I mean, honestly, the thought yesterday, oh, I'll sit on the beach for a bit, go sunbathing. 5 minutes in, I go, I'm too hot. And then I ended up just going for a paddle because I just couldn't sit still. I get really bored. But I do like the thought of fishing. Is there a skill to fishing? That's what I want to know. Is there a knack? Is there like a, you know, some people just seem to get really good at catching fish. I just don't think I'd be very good at it. Does anyone know, obviously speaking about the World Cup, does anyone actually know how much a football kit costs for the national teams now? Because I was looking at the new Chelsea kits in Sports Direct the other day. I saw them in there and I think they were like £85 just for like a plain men's football kit, and that's insane, isn't it? I've always said I think something they should do now with football kits, and it's the same with national team kits as well, and obviously I appreciate they're never going to do this with football kits, but is have it where unless you change sponsor and there's a reason why the kit needs to be changed, I think you should have them for a minimum of 2 seasons and maybe 2 major tournaments if it's a national team. I believe Nottingham Forest may have done this a few years ago where they, yeah, £85, that's insane, isn't it? The thing is, I've always had I've got a few football kits at the minute and they're really, you know, they feel good quality and all of this. But if you're a kid, and this is what I always say, when I was younger, and obviously supporting Chelsea, I always wanted the latest kit and the new signing on the back of the shirt. It's ridiculous. Say you've got 2 kids, 3 kids who support the same team. You're talking £200 odd. you know, just for 3 football kits. And this doesn't include the fact you might want to take them to a game. And I'll be honest, how difficult is it to try and get a ticket to a football match now? You know, you've got all these point systems and all sorts of things that just make it impossible now. I honestly don't think, well, I have been to a few games in recent years, but that's purely been on the fact I know someone who can get me a ticket to go. And that's not really what I want to do. A shout for you if you can't sit still. I will have to, yeah. I'll have to go fishing at some point. It's one of those things I always want to try. I'm one of those people that I mean, so the reason I've got like this YouTube channel in the first place is I did an ultra marathon for charity. Well, how long ago was that now? About just over a year ago. So I quite like the thought of doing something a bit different. And then normally I make the decision, I regret it. I mean, in a few weeks' time, it is literally a few weeks' time actually, I'm giving blood for the first time. And someone said to me, why are you doing that? And I was just like, well, I just want to do so. I try and do, one thing I try and set myself every year is try and do one good deed. So last year was raising money for charity, doing an ultra challenge. This year's giving blood. And then in another year, I don't know what I'll do in a year's time. It'll probably be another challenge again. I'd love to do another ultra marathon, but yeah, look how quiet it is again. How nice is this? See, people don't like the thought of getting up early for runs, but for me, this is what makes it so worth it. I'll be honest, it does stink here. I said this yesterday when I did it live. It absolutely stinks of cow poo. But other than that, it's very nice. You're in your own mind, you're in your own thoughts, and it just clears your head, honestly. I mean, I'm in a good place, but don't get me wrong, sometimes when you've had a stressful day, it's so nice just to get out with peace and quiet. Especially when I used to work in schools, it was so noisy at times. And you go home and you ended up talking so loudly to everyone around you. Like, why are you talking so loud? Because you've basically been shouting all day and you don't realise how loud you are in front of everyone else because they've been sitting in peace and quiet. But yeah, right. I think we should try a little sprint, don't you? I haven't done any real fast runs in this holiday, but I've got to burn this fish and chips off. Right. 1 minute of hard go. That these footballers moan about having too much football, too much running. They don't know the meaning. I'm hoping my brother's not out running this morning. He's getting quite quick. I want to get up to this sign. Some rocks in front. Oh, here we go. That'll do. I don't think that was a minute. It wasn't too bad. So I want to know then, let's go on to another football related question. I've kind of gone off piece a bit. Did anyone play for a team when they were younger? Who else has played for a football team when they were growing up? I did. I played for my local team. And I'll be honest, I used to love playing in my garden mainly just with my nan. But they were like, look, you like football too much, we need to get you out and playing for a team. The team I played for, I'm not going to lie, we were hopeless. We were absolutely hopeless. I mean, there was no point in saying which foot you preferred because half of them, and actually I was right, half of them couldn't even kick in a straight line. You know, we were really rubbish. Bottom division, there was a team we played actually. Oh, do you? What is that? Just a local league, a Sunday league? I remember playing. So the team I played for, honestly, we had so many people who were quite big egos. You know what it's like. You always get a few who just want to be the big I am. When it came to a penalty in the game, though, they always chickened out. So I used to score a few goals because I was the shy one who never wanted to say, "Oh, I won't take it." And yeah, so I scored in my last game before I gave up and started playing. That sounds good. What position do you play? See, I played right back. I was a striker initially, but you know, some of you play football on a Sunday, when you play in the sort of younger years, so when I was sort of 10, 11 years old, some people grow really quickly, obviously going through their puberty stage, and obviously I wasn't really growing, so they just put me in defence in the end because they were like, well, you're not tall enough to be the striker. Ended up playing defence. Now what you'll see as well, I'm going to turn around in a second. I'll turn around here actually. See these little orange flags that are here at the moment? There's loads of them around. There's like this 24-hour running event or something today, which sounds really interesting. They're basically just doing laps, and it's how long they can run without stopping. or centre, mid or wing. I want to know then, what would be, if there's any position you could play on a football pitch, where would you like to play? So I played right back, but actually wing back would be the perfect position for me now. Up and down the pitch, because I constantly run. I could do that all day. And I'm quite, I said I'm certainly not tall enough to be a defender or anything like that. I was useless at defending. The problem is I've got an age now where if I was to play football again, I'd have to get contact lenses because my eyesight is that bad. It's so bad. And I remember when I used to play, because I was rubbish and I couldn't even tie my shoes till I was 12. I used to have my mum on the side of the pitch. If my shoelace ever come undone, she had to tie them up. I remember a team almost scoring, literally because I was getting my mum to tie my shoelaces up, which is pretty embarrassing. But do you know, whenever anyone did play Sunday football, kids Sunday football, did you ever have one of the parents as the referee? So we used to have, and he was a really nice guy, we used to have a boy in our team called George, and his dad used to referee, because we didn't really have like proper referees in kids football. But put it this way, it was so biased. He'd be like, go on George, he's the referee, and he's like, go on George, get a goal. So funny, because the other teams must have been thinking, well, there's no bias here. And naturally, of course, you're going to be a little bit more biased, that's just the way it is. But yeah, it was funny. Kids football is something else. I mean, so in my last job, which I was working in schools, I used to be the kind of PE teacher, so I'd take all the kids to the sports events. And honestly, you'd be amazed at how competitive some of the parents are. No, we have the coaches to do it. Yeah, have you ever had a bad coach? Anyone had like a terrible manager that just didn't like you or just wasn't very good at coping? I've certainly seen a few of them, that's for sure. Right. Yeah, I remember one of my games, one of the boys who was a striker for our team got dropped or got taken off early, and he swore at our manager, and they just went home. I saw a few parents getting in physical confrontations when I played, and yeah, it wasn't always the best. Like, football does bring out the worst in some people. But is anyone else one of them? My brother, honestly, if you met my brother, he's one of the calmest people in the world. But when it comes to sport, it's like this switch goes off in his brain and he gets very ultra competitive and angry. I used to be a really bad loser with darts. But obviously you grow up in the end, don't you, as well? But what other sports, anyone who's in the chat still, what other sports do we all like? I still think football's the best sport in the world, really, to watch. Again, I absolutely love my darts. Never got into golf. I do like watching a bit of the Ryder Cup. Everyone swears by golf. And actually, that's another thing. Anyone else do paddle? Because I hear everyone raving about paddle. And to me, it's almost become so popular now, I just don't want to do it. I quite like doing the things that are a little bit more niche. And yeah, paddle's definitely not that. You've got to go. Well, thank you. Nice to meet you. Sorry, I can't read your name on this at the moment, but because it's so small at the top of my screen. But yeah, hopefully I'll see you again soon. I'm probably going to do another live before next Friday. I'll probably do one over the next week, and yeah, maybe do a few more in time. But thank you for helping me get through my run. If you're watching the England game tonight or any of the World Cup, enjoy. And I'm going to say, just so you remember, I'm going to say England 4, Panama 0, Ghana 1, no, Ghana 2, Croatia 1. Thank you for the sub as well. I will see you again soon. Enjoy what you are up to today. I really need to speed up a little. Oh, wow. Did you hear that? That bird just, did you wipe my feet out? But yeah, I'll see you again soon. Right, we're nearly back. Going back past my favourite tapas restaurant. Don't really like the smell of fried food though early in the morning. Right now, tell you what, if I could eat anything at the moment, I could eat a croissant. I feel like in the mood for a croissant. Am I allowed to treat myself though? Then yeah, probably. And now I'm going for a run. Been bitten so many times. But yeah, the other day, if anyone saw one of my YouTube shorts, there was loads of barrel jellyfish washing up on the sea the other day. I think where the temperatures have just been so hot, they're all just washing up because Yeah, it's not just down here, it seems to be everywhere at the moment in the country. They seem to all be washing up. Right, I'll tell you what, guys, I think everyone has pretty much gone and I'm nearly back from my run, but thank you to those who did comment in the chat today as well. I'm going to try and motivate myself a bit more tomorrow. Remember my headphones, so I won't do a few lives for a bit, but hope everyone enjoys the football. Thanks for those that did bring up the conversations. I think we're all in agreement about VAR and the hydration breaks, but I'm sure we've all got different opinions of who's going to win it. But remember, I'm still going for Portugal. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'll see you in a bit if I can work out how to turn this off.